Thank you all for waiting. Has, welcome me in. Hi, Grace. Coffee time, indeed. Oh, got your s'more Pop-Tart? You ready? Hell yeah, dude. You should have had blueberry Pop-Tart for the way that the flavor notes are. Thank you, Nelly. I was about to ask if the coffee drowned you. I wish. Best way to go, isn't it? Oh, but a big old shout out to Seraphriel. Seraphriel redeemed 10,000 channel points for us to get to try this coffee. Seraph, the amount of support you give me, the fact that you've always got my stream up on lurk, regardless, means the world to me, my dude. And thank you so much for everything and all the support you give me. The fact that you would use 10,000 of your probably 3 million channel points that you have to get me to try good coffees, unlike the rest of these heathens that just like the meme coffees, means a lot to me, my dude. Appreciate you. And look forward to many a years to come. But our coffee today is from Nagoyan Coffee Supply. It is their Saigon coffee. Tasting notes, it's supposed to be saying perfectly balanced, bold. I'm gonna fuck this up. You literally just told me it today. Kakao, and blackberry. They gave me kitties and their barks. Hi, kitties. They're gonna be bouncing. Oh, whatever. They even gave me a little booklet that talks about their adventures of their beans as they come from Vietnam all the way to Brooklyn. Which, ironically, this is back to back weeks that we've had Vietnam coffee. But yeah, so there's like the whole process and everything. They make little notes about it. It's really cool. I think that's my favorite part about like doing these smaller roasters. It's just all of the all of the little extra stuff. Like I've got a whole collection of fucking stickers, right? Like from the fire department people. Like we've got little bean guys, even though Kiddo just likes the nurse. When I showed off the stickers before midnight, put like SpongeBob licking the nurse bean. But a bunch of cool stuff. We've got our bone sticker. Oh. We've got the crab. Another one from the fire department. The no normal. The weirdo coffees. Nope. Like they love their stickers and stuff, and I love having their stickers and stuff. Really cool. But your beans, Bug. I know you haven't had a chance to have your bean box shown in a hot minute. But there you are, my good sir. This is quite the blend. They say it's dark, but they do also say that you can do espresso with this. And as I have learned from all of my espresso research here recently, you want that to be blended. So that's probably why we're seeing the mixture of the very dark and the very light beans. I will say with what we're looking at on the cup level, it's a little bit lighter than I would expect with the dark roast, but again, it smells delightful. So we will see how this comes off. It does say you can use it with an espresso. I don't even know what a fin filter is, or a French press, or the drip pot. This is going to be our drip pot. I know we had talked about like doing espresso and that kind of stuff, but I'm also concerned with doing espresso this late at night because of how much it perks me up. But without further ado, I give to you the sip. And thank you for the hat on. And thank you for the hat off, Bug. What are we doing, my dude? Want me to eat a bean already? I just had my first sip of the coffee, though, Throttle. Your bean. Fresh bean. We haven't had a fresh bean in a minute. Thank you, kind sir. It's so weird not to, like, break my teeth on the bean. Ironically, that bean tastes just like the coffee does. Which is surprising. Usually the coffees are a little bit more earthy. All right. But anyway, back to the reading. Have a good night, Nat Throttle. I do appreciate you being here, buddy. I don't get a lot of the blackberry. I will say, it is definitely a bold cup of coffee. That they are not lying about. But bold is good, right? No, it's too much. Much better. I was like, yeah. I was like, I gotta work to keep myself centered. But it's actually kind of earthy. I'm very surprised. I'm not entirely sure. Hold on, let me do some research here. The cocoa or the cocoa should be, it's just kind of like, hey kitty. Do they harvest blackberries from the swamp in Vietnam? I'm not sure. Because it's just like cocoa, right? Like, it's just a different way of saying it. Because I feel like it would be sweeter. Like maybe not sweeter. Maybe like a bitter chocolatey taste, you know what I mean? It's very earthy. I can probably get a little bit of the I can probably get like a little bit of the brain's gonna fail me. I can probably get a little bit of the blackberry. Oh, it's not sweet. It's not quite chocolatey until it's been refined. Really? Okay. Yeah, because I get a lot of earth, and that's kind of what I figured. Like baker's chocolate, you know what I mean? But we'll see as this cools down too, because it was just a lot of earth right at the beginning. They say the beans are imported from Vietnam and they are roasted in Brooklyn. It's a rich, smooth, non-acidic flavor. And I could go with that. Um, it's not bitter at all. It's pretty smooth on the back end, but it's still got a nice, strong, bold flavor, which is interesting. Um, I wouldn't. It kind of gets there. I can feel like something on the sides of my tongue, and I'm not sure if it's the blackberry or if it's the or if it's. God, I need to. Sorry, I need to hear how to say this word because I had it and I was confident in saying it, and now I can't. I can't. Ugh. The sneezes. Thank you. Cacao. 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 Yes. Cacao. 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 Thank you for the shout out to Kitty. Because I'm following Kitty Juice. I was very check out. Lovely little lady, fantastic streamer. So I'm not sure if it's the cacao or if it's the blackberry. I feel like because blackberries aren't exactly sweet either, they're really tangy. I don't know if you guys have ever had blackberries. I was talking with Saraf during a stream. Mom and Dad used to have a ton of blackberry bushes out by their house or at their house. And when we were before they had even um before we had even built the house out there, like we'd go out there and you could steal them. And the amount of seeds in blackberries is weird too. Every once in a while you'd get a nice little juice. You're just putting a monkey on my face there, kitty. How could you? How could you? But they had blackberries and elderberries all over the place out there. I used to make the hell out of wine on them. Um, so I'm feeling like I'm getting the blackberry through it. but it's what I assume would be the cacao. Um, just because it tastes earthy. I would expect, like I said, I don't know if you guys have ever and I wouldn't say accidentally, but if you guys have ever eaten um baker's chocolate, I could see, and it's been a long time since I've done that. It was probably a teenager. So it's not, I'm assuming we're getting into some kind of flavor like that. But again, I've eaten a cacao bean. It's not sweet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm assuming too. Um, the wild blackberries near me are very mild. Yeah, there's a reason why you always put an ass ton of sugar on like blackberry pies and stuff. It's really weird. I don't believe I've never had one, you know what I mean? So I don't have any kind of like real like that's what I assume it is. And I feel like on the outside at Baker's Jennifer did. No, my mother smelt of elderberries, Robo. I am a robosexual. I Robo. But no, mother smelled of elderberry. She was the one that made the wine. We used to go out and get 5-gallon buckets for her, or she did. I don't know if we ever did. But and does that make my father a hamster though? Oh my. But no, that's what I'm saying. Mother was the one that always used the elderberry, so that means that father was a hamster. Better than a gerbil, I imagine, though, right? Um, but so I feel like the way that the flavoring goes is the strong cacao, and then as and I wouldn't even say it's like overpowering. Like for those of you that drink regular coffees as it is, if you've ever had a really earthy coffee, it's kind of like that, except for without the aftertaste. Um, it's hard to explain what the earthiness tastes like. It's just really it it's just it's a description. You know, if you don't, it's not exactly one of my most favorite um like taste notes of a coffee. Um, and again, that's normally when you're in your light roast that you deal with that. With this being advertised as a dark blend, that's where I was getting like a sweet chocolatey expectation from, especially with a cacao. You know, obviously that is not. I knew it wasn't going to be like chocolate because I know that is processed um in order to get the sweetness and all that stuff. But um but so but it's a lot earthier than I was expecting. I would be interested in I'd be interested in knowing how this comes across in the other prep methods, which I will probably try out later this week. Um, just because I'd be curious how the espresso goes of this. Um, I might play around with my French press with this, especially considering those are two of the recommended brews that they have for it. I think it would be, you know, it's always fun to play around with coffee. And if I've got the machines, I might as well use them, right? Um, but yeah, it's rather earthy, which I'm assuming is a cacao. And then on the outsides of my tongue, as the flavor starts to drop off from that, the blueberry starts to kind of play, but it really doesn't overpower the cacao though. And um and for a rating, it's a quality bean. I'll give it that. It's got a really bold flavor. The acidity is nice and low. You don't get that stingy aftertaste that you get a lot of times when you have these kinds of like earthy tastes, and the bitterness that comes with it being acidic isn't there. It's very smooth finish, and it's a really great experience. I'm not crazy about the flavor, so I'm probably just gonna give it a 5 because I can interchange it. I'd probably interchange it. I might give it a 4 because I'm not crazy about the flavor. Um, but it is a nice quality coffee. It's nice to have that nice clean finish. But I just can't. I don't know if I could get behind it. It's just not. It's not on brand. For those of you that like earthy coffees, this is probably going to be right up your alley. For those of you who are, and again, I think it'll be interesting to know how it goes as we try other preparation methods for it, and see how that goes. So I am excited for that. Something else to play around with, and explore the different taste notes that we can pull out of this with the different preparation methods. But I think I'm gonna settle on the 4. And again, it's really nice. I just can't get beyond the flavor. It's been a while since we've had a really nice dark roast. Like, we had the midnight oil that I was excited for, and that was kind of a letdown. Like, I really feel like a lot of these are blended. Like, I don't feel like, but again, a nice super dark coffee that is another Japanese coffee. I don't care. But we haven't had a super dark coffee in a long time. And like I said, it really feels like they're blended a lot more. Like, cause I mean, like these beans. You can't tell me that that's all dark roast. Like, look how light some of those beans are. And then, I mean, some of them are darker. There's no way that's not a blend. You know what I mean? You can tell me whatever you want, but you won't be truthful, Has. So I'm curious on if maybe my interpretation of what it means to be labeled a dark roast is wrong. Like if maybe it's like a percentage has to be it, or if like you can just barely go over second crack and that's considered a dark roast. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I want to feel like I know, but I don't know. I should probably look that up one day. Just because Bean Man was always my is that really rocking you guys? Isn't there tapping this, or is that just rocking the monitor? I don't know. I don't know. It was. Alright. I really need to get my we rocking. Ooh, it's an earthquake. Sorry, I'm a weirdo. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4. I can't get behind the flavor. It's a really nice cup of coffee. It's very smooth. The acidity is well managed. I just cannot get behind the flavor. But yes, that is your roast rates. Raph, thank you again for the wonderful coffee. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you do for me. And I appreciate all the support. And even if it's a 4, I will still take it over some of the questionable flavored coffees that we get to experience. And we will go from there. I do appreciate you, my dude. But let's get back to the game, shall we? And thank you guys for sticking around with the roast rate.